The Newsday continues here in One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. Senator Mark Villar has again defended the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill. Villar, who chairs the Senate Bank's Financial Institutions and Currencies Committee, said government funds will be maximized through the proposed sovereign fund.
Itong investment fund, yung sovereign investment fund, ay mag-i-invest po sa mga projects na makaka-generate ng mas malaking return po sa gobyerno. So, ito po ay isang form of equity, tinatawag po nilang equity, yung mga shares ng mga kumpanya, and makaka-generate din po ng mga funds na galing po sa abroad, galing din po sa mga institutional investors, at itong mga pondo ay pwedeng gamitin ng gobyerno para sa mga flagship projects katulad ng infrastructure projects, mga proyekto po sa agrikultura. So, pag na-invest po yung mga pondo, syempre, makaka-generate din ng returns for government. So, mamamaximize din po ang mga assets ng gobyerno at magkakaroon ng income ang gobyerno pag nagkaroon po ng ganitong classic fund. Yun ang objective po ng isang sovereign wealth fund.
Economic managers of the Marcos administration seek the Senate's approval of the MIF bill before congressional session adjourns on June 2. President Bongbong Marcos is optimistic that renewing service contract number 38 for the Malampayag gas field will reduce the country's dependence on oil imports. The president made the remark after signing the agreement allowing the consortium to use the Malampayag gas field for another 15 years until February 2039. The chief executive says he believes that the extension of the contract will help in the government's efforts towards energy security.
As we renew Service Contract 38, we optimistically look forward to the continued production and utilization of the remaining reserves of the Malampaya gas field, as well as further exploration and development of its untapped potential. This project will reduce our dependence on oil imports and will ensure a more stable supply of cleaner energy from an indigenous local source.
Service contract number 38 is controlled by the Malampaya Consortium, comprised of 3 companies. This includes Prime Energy Resources Development BV, a subsidiary by Razon-led Prime Infrastructure Capital. The rest of the consortium is comprised of the UC38 LLC owned by Tycoon Dennis Uy and state-owned PNOC Exploration Corporation. The Energy Department earlier estimated that energy supply in the Malampaya gas field will run out by the year 2027 if no new explorations are conducted. The Malampaya gas field supplies energy to 5 power plants, which make up 20% of the country's total energy requirements. The agency, however, is confident that the consortium will be able to explore and utilize the remaining energy supply in the area, as it is obligated to carry out new explorations under the contract renewal.
Under the President's direction and working with Congress in pursuit of the country's energy security agenda, the Department of Energy acknowledges its responsibility in helping ensure the efficient and sustainable exploration, development, and utilization of our indigenous energy, including Malampaya. The DOE has meticulously evaluated the SC38 consortium. The assessment encompassed legal, technical, and financial capabilities and confirmed the consortium's capacity to sustain the production operation and meets its obligations.
Economic managers have expressed concern over ballooning funds allocated for pensions of retired military and other uniformed personnel, or MUP. Latest GSIS data show that unfunded liabilities for the current pension system for MUPs have reached 9.6 trillion pesos. In a Senate hearing on Monday, National Treasurer Rosalia De Leon pointed out that the government is spending more for the retirement fund of MUPs than for salaries of active personnel. The Treasury notes that this is, quote, fiscally unsustainable. Economic managers are now calling for mandatory contributions among uniformed personnel. They are proposing a 5% contribution from personnel's base pay, which will hike to 7 and 9% every 3 years. Currently, the retirement benefit is taken out of the national budget. Economic managers also want the minimum pensionable age for MUPs to be set at 57 years old, as under the current system, soldiers are allowed to retire after 20 years in service. Economic managers propose that MUPs should not be given a higher rank once they retire, something that is being done today, allowing retirees to be entitled to higher pensions.
Mas naalarma po kami na yung pong pension, mas malaki pa po sa ginagastos natin para sa MOE ng capital outlay ng ating for defense. So, dapat po, tugunan po natin ngayon yun para mas malaki rin po, maibigay na nating share para sa mga military modernization, para sa capital outlays. And at the same time po, alam po natin na sinishrink po natin yung ating fiscal deficit. Kasi nga po, otherwise, mas lalaki po yung inuutang natin to be able to finance. Dahil nga po, again, we go back to the issue na wala pong kontribusyon, wala pong pondong nakalaan dyan. So, national government, lagi po ang taya para bayaran po yung pensyon.
However, the Defense Department is opposing the move, noting that it will affect the morale of uniformed personnel. The agency says many active members are now looking to retire ahead of the implementation of these proposed reforms.
At present, mere discussions of proposals relating to retirement benefits, most especially the imposition of the pensionable age, has already affected the morale and caused uneasiness, not only from within the active ranks of the armed forces, but even from our veterans and retirees.
A Philippine delegation is now headed to Kuwait for discussions on the suspended issuance of new entry visas for Filipinos. The team includes 2 representatives from the Foreign Affairs Department and 4 officials from the Migrant Workers Department. DFA Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega said they will clarify the rationale behind Kuwait's move. Last week, it imposed an entry ban reportedly due to the Philippines' violation of a 2018 labor deal, which the DFA has since refuted. De Vega said at least 50 overseas Filipino workers bound for Kuwait were affected by the visa suspension. The move comes months after the Philippines banned the deployment of domestic workers to Kuwait following the death of Julie B. Ranara. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. With the El Nino phenomenon expected in the second half of the year, the Health Department advises all hospitals and healthcare facilities to prepare to mitigate its effects on public health. In a department circular, the DOH says health facilities must take the necessary steps to ensure resilience and continued service during the onset of the El Nino. Among the things hospitals are advised to prepare is an adequate amount of water supply. This includes safe drinking water, which should be good for at least 72 hours. Hospitals are also advised to anticipate intermittent power supply interruptions and ensure backup power generation for at least 48 hours. The DOH also advises healthcare facilities to prepare for an increase in consultation involving different illnesses and disorders brought by prolonged exposure to hot weather and unavailability of quality water. Gilas Pilipinas successfully advances to the gold medal match against Cambodia after grinding out against Indonesia 84-76 in last night's game. Justin Brownlee pumped in 34 points to power Gilas, forging a final showdown-loaded rematch with host Cambodia. Gilas will try to complete the redemption bid in a match against a Cambodian team reinforced by a handful of naturalized Americans in the finals today, May 16. For Gilas Pilipinas women, they ended their SEA Games campaign on a strong note as they rammed past Malaysia to secure the silver medal. Janine Pontejos led the way with 24 points, while Kate Castillo added 18 more in the effort. The Filipina Hoopers will now turn their sights on the FIBA Women's Asia Cup that will be held in Australia next month. The Philippines also picked up more gold medals in Arnis, with Dexter Bolambao and Maria Ella Alcoseba each completing a sweep in their respective divisions. Meanwhile, playing coach Maria Cristina Vergara comes out of retirement to bag another gold for the country in the 65-kilogram division of women's freestyle wrestling. As of the latest tally, the Philippines remains unmoved in the 5th spot with 51 gold medals, 77 silvers, and 103 bronze medals. Vietnam still leads the games with 123 gold, 100 silver medals, and 98 bronze finishes. Thailand maintains its spot under Vietnam after picking up 2 more gold medals, while Indonesia takes 3 more golds to keep steady at 3rd place. And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News. All sides, all the time.